Hi guys, welcome back to Kodemine. Carry here. So hope you guys are enjoying C programming tutorial on our channel Kodemine. So let's discuss the next topic, that is functions in C programming. So what are functions, how we use that, and why we use that, right? So that complete thing we cover in this video. So let's discuss about the functions. So functions are a building block of C which is used to complete different tasks or a part of a program, right? So in programming, the function, you can say a list of statements, or you guys can say a block of statements which actually designed or written to achieve a specific task, right? For example, in a program we have 3-4 kind of calculations, right? We have a percentage, we have a sum, we have to subtract something, we have to do multiplication. So the thing is, again and again we need to do some calculations, right? For example, in a program, for example, I am creating a software of a banking, right? And in banking, in each and every step I need to calculate rate of interest, right? What is the interest I gather on this time period, right? So for example, if I write down program like line by line by line in just in a main function, then my code will be repeat, right? The lots of code will repeat. Why? Because whenever I need to do calculation of rate of interest, the thing will happen that again I have to write down these lines. So to create a separate module for that calculation, I will create a function, right? What I will do, I will create a separate function where I have some inputs like as arguments, and that function will return something back. So that is the overall flow of a function, right? To reduce the code, right? So that is to provide a module kind of facility in a C programming, right? So like for example, here we have a void function, right? Compare A and B. So whenever we want to compare two variables, we can directly compare from here, right? So this is that. So if I talk about in detail about the syntax of functions in C programming, so first of all we have a return type. You guys can say function type or return type, which means we first of all we need to tell the compiler that this kind of the output this function will return, right? Float, int, simple like we use with the variable. So that kind of return type we need to write down with the function, right? Then this is a function keyword we need to write down. Then function name, right? Function name could be anything like variables, right? And then we have a list of arguments, right? And we need to mention it's like a simple variable, but it just take a input from the, when we call this function we send some data, so this argument used to receive that data, right? Then we have a function body here, right? So whatever the calculation, whatever the statements we want, we can write down here. And this is return value. Return value is whatever the value we want to return from here, that we can return from here only, right? So it's upon us that whether these return value and these arguments are optional, right? We can use this thing or we can skip also this thing. So that is that here. So here we have this function. We can see the void. Void is a data type, which means this function will not return anything, right? So void function compare is a name of the function. Then we have a int a comma int b, which means we have two arguments here which will receive the input for this function, right? And it will just is a behavior like a just simple variables, like there is no difference between a variable and arguments. The thing is, we write down the variable in the function like a prototype, these variable known as a argument, right, which receive the input on function call. So here we are comparing, like if a is greater than b, then a is greater than b, else the b is greater than a. So that is very simple. Here we are calling this function, right? Compare 10 comma 20. So 10 will be assigned to a and b will be assigned 20 will be assigned to b, right? So this is how I can use multiple variables, multiple arguments in the functions, right? So I have to send the value when I am calling from here, right? So here the 10 will assign to a and 20 will assign to b. A is greater than b, a is greater than b. So I will so now A is 10 and B is 20. So what I will get the output that B is greater than A. So that is all job of a function, right? So we will see some programming examples by which we can understand that okay, how we can achieve this thing. So let's start the program. And so the guys who still not subscribe our channel, you guys can subscribe my channel by hitting the red subscribe button below this video. And let's save this program first. So this is .c. Okay, hash include st. So first of all, we will see the simple functionality of simple functionality of a function call, how we can write down a function and how we can use the call that function. So first of all, whatever function we need to use, we need to write down here, right? So for example, I am using void int display message, right? So this is my one function in the C, right? So here I am using that. So let me write down its like a definition also. Void display message, then here is that, and this is my function printf, and I am in the new function that is display message, right? So what I will do here, I will write down this way, like I am calling function display message. I am out of function, right? So here I will call that function display message simply like this, right? I do not have anything, right? Anything to write down, anything to here. So this is that here. Alright, so we will see that how the overall flow of a function, right? So here is that, and we will go to our directory that is C programming, and here we have a GCC. Then we can do this thing. Let me go here, right? And we have this function. Right, this is my object file and this is my compile. So I have compiled. So I got an error. Why? Because we need only one data type, void main, right? So here is my compiled program, and that is fun.c. So you guys can see, first of all, I am calling a function display message. I am in new call function display message, then I am out of function display. So this is how we will understand how this thing is happening. So first of all, our execution started from main and we execute this line. I am calling function display message, right? So here, when I call this, whenever the control come to this line number 8, what will happen? The control will move from this to this function, right? Now the compiler will execute from 1 to end all the statements of this function, right? So we will print this thing, I am in new function display message. So once my execution of this block is completed, like this block, the display message, automatically my control will come back to the next to my this line, right? Again this line, and now further I am able to execute the next line of my program. So that is the logic of a overall flow of a function, right? What will happen when we call from a main? The control will go to that function block. After the whole execution of that function block, the control will come back to that point, and further we start the execution to the next line in the main. So that is overall flow. So in the next thing, we discuss about the how to return a value from a function, right? How we can return a value from a function. Or first of all, let us see that how we can pass a variable two-way function, right? For example, I want to display the sum of two numbers, right? So let me write down another method, that is int, or let's write down it as a void now, int sum, right? That is that here. So sum is another function which I am trying to use into my program. Here is that. So I need to write down int a comma int b, right? So I have a two variable now. So same variable I need to mention here now, int a comma int b, right? So this is that here. So what I will do now, int c is equal to int, right? So that is here, and here what I will do, printf a is %d comma a, then next thing is b is %d b. So this is my new method. So what I will do, I will comment it out and I will call another method, that is sum, and in sum I will call now like 10 and comma 20. I can either call this way also, right? So we have this thing. So we will try to execute. So you guys can see now I'm calling a function. A is 10, b is 20, right? 10 is assigned to a and 20 is assigned to b. Either we can do this way also, right? We can assign the value like this way. Int a is equal to 10 comma b is equal to 20. So I can do this way also. So this is a different variable, this is a different variable. This a and this b, right, is a local variable of main, and this a and b is different variable of local variable of sum. So let's use it as a xy so that we can differentiate, right? So we can write down this way. So we need to keep in mind that the data type should be similar, right? If you have an int variable, then your variable should be int there. So we have this thing, and you guys can see now still our output is same, right? Now we need to, the most important thing is how to return a value from a function, right? So for that we need to now first of all set the return data type of that function. What kind of return data type? So it will be int, right? Int is a now data type. So what I will do now, I will take another variable c. So now I need a variable to store the return value from where I am calling, right? So that is c is equal to this, and here again I need to write down int here, right? So not c, I will use here z, right? And z is equal to sum this way. So what will happen now? So here is int c is this, c is equal to a plus b, and what I will do now, return c. So you guys can see now I am now returning the value c here, and c is type of integer, right? So what will happen, whatever the value I will return from here, it will become the value of this z. So that is the main benefit of a function called to link. Like this is, you can say the x and y is the input to the sum function and c is the output to the main, right? So z will store the output. So what I can printf here, printf the sum from function sum is %d. So I will use here my local variable of main, right? I cannot use c here, I can use z here. What will happen, automatically the value of c will be assigned to the z, right? Or sum, this total will become z. We guys can test it, right? So this is, we have compiled, and you guys can see the sum is 30. So why sum is 30? Because the value of this whole will become c, right? We can write down, instead of z, we can write down this way also, right? So there will be no change in the execution of the program. You guys can see this. So this is that, right? Answer is again, right? So this is the overall flow of a function, right? What will happen? Simply, but this is the best way to do that. Simply, whenever we send some input, like we mention these functions, whatever the function we use in a C program, we write down into a list of, first of all, after the header files, we write down, okay, this kind of function we are going to use in C programming, right? And in main, if we require, for example, we need to do sum of two numbers, right? Then what we will do, we will call that function x and provide that appropriate input to that method, right? So this is sum, right? Int a comma int b, right? So what will happen? The automatically the 10 and 20 will be assigned to this a comma b, right? So a is 10 and b is 20. Int c is equal to a plus b, right? So that will be 30. So what will happen now here? Return type is integer. We need to take care that return type, whatever the value you are returning and this return is, should be similar. So this c will return to this, right? So this function value will be replaced with the value c, and that will assign to z, and we are able to print the sum of z. So this is the overall flow of a function, right? A simple call, and the all calculation will execute, and the return value will be assigned back to the function main. So this is all about functions. So if you guys have any query, any question, or you guys facing any kind of problem, you guys can comment into the comment box, right? And the guys who still not subscribed our channel, please do subscribe our channel by hitting the red subscribe button below this video, and do not forget to hit the bell icon for the notification of upcoming videos. So let's discuss our next topic in the next video. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Have a very good day.